Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 2nd of 2021. Now, one major TV show that a lot of fans are really looking forward to is of course the Kenobi series and the Ahsoka Tano series, starring Rosario Dawson and Ewan McGregor. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Also, make sure to check me out at Mike01 on Twitter if you would like to. Now, moving ahead, we do know that George, John, and Dave are all working together as a team to really bring back a majority of Star Wars legends in the mix. We're talking about a lot of new stories involving Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, Palpatine, others out there that have been associated with the Thrawn trilogy from the 1990s. I mean, a lot of work is being poured in to what is being described as a Star Wars universe that's going to be heavily based on Star Wars legends. And this is their way to connect to the hardcore fans. This is their way to really bring back some of the lost fans. We're talking about the fans that walked away at the very end of Episode 9 when they had enough already with Star Wars. Now, when we go ahead and examine what Kathleen Kennedy had done over the past couple of years to the sequel trilogy, she's done plenty of negative things to the Star Wars universe. I mean, even to the Star Wars fandom directly, by literally lying and saying that Star Wars Legends does not exist, and that there is no source material to pull from when it came to the new movies and/or TV shows, which is a complete lie. We all know that. And it's just Kathleen Kennedy's agenda to focus on how Star Wars should be moving ahead without Legends. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing involves Jon Favreau and exactly what he had to say about Gina Carano. We do know that ever since Gina Carano's firing back in February, a lot of fans have been up in arms over Star Wars and how Lucasfilm operates as a company. So, with that being said, alright, given that since the sequel trilogy's end, Disney and Lucasfilm have been preparing a host of new TV shows to arrive on the Disney Plus streaming platform. Both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively creating their new Star Wars shows such as Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and Mandalorian, plus more, that are about to be announced in the coming months around this fall. However, in a recent interview with creator Jon Favreau about future Mandalorian seasons, he was eventually questioned about actress Gina Carano. Jon Favreau eventually went on to explain that he actually had big plans for Cara Dune in the first season that was being laid by, of course, in front of Kathleen Kennedy on the script, and of course how Gina Carano, and that there were many times in which Kathleen Kennedy wanted to replace her with somebody else. She never really believed in Carano playing the role of Cara Dune for season 1 and was endlessly trying to get her written out of the script. Yes, we and Kathy often fell into creative differences for this show, and it took tons of convincing to keep Gina Carano on board of season 1, just to show the audience how great of a character she could become. Favreau also reveals that Carano often felt challenged on the set of The Mandalorian Season 1, feeling like she wasn't actually good enough for the role based on the creative differences between Kathleen Kennedy and Jon. But myself, Dave, and of course others made sure to inspire her to keep going with the role and to do as best as possible. Favreau also reveals that Kathleen Kennedy would often also try to get her written off from Season 2 before the whole firing even fell into place earlier this year, of course, and that this is one thing that halted the script for a number of weeks before filming began a while ago, back in early 2019. Aside from this, behind the scenes, Jon Favreau is already set to include deleted scenes of Cara Dune for Season 3 of The Mandalorian, while the rehiring of Gina Carano plan is still underway over at Disney, and how Jon Favreau is also preparing amazing things for the Ahsoka Tano series with his partner Dave Filoni. So, this is something that I view as absolutely disgusting, the fact that Kathleen Kennedy endlessly tried to get her written off the show. She was relentless. She kept trying to get her off of Season 1. It didn't stop there. She tried to also get her off of Season 2. Can you imagine that? Can you just think to yourself for one moment and imagine if you're an actor and/or an actress and you have the president of Lucasfilm trying to kick you off the show? That just really does tell us exactly who Kathleen Kennedy really is. Now, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, thankfully, they knocked some kind of sense into Kathleen Kennedy, or should I say Dave Filoni and Jon, they really did do a good job with that. They were able to convince Kathleen Kennedy to keep her on board for both season 1 and 2, and just to use that as a prime example that the fans are gonna like this character, especially the young girls that are just beginning to watch Star Wars in general and need a person to look up to. That was perfect for them. Unfortunately, that fell apart when she got fired, and a lot of customers, you know, have been actually no longer been purchasing merchandise related to movies and or TV shows of Star Wars. I mean, it's been a big mess. We've also seen that a lot of people have canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions. A couple of weeks ago, you guys may have seen that they unveiled how much revenue they lost, how much, you know, how much of an impact everything had, and also how, you know, Bob Chapek was able to unveil that there was some degree of subscription cancellations. So many people out there were canceling their subscriptions. Again, there's still not a ton of evidence whether or not that's linked to the Gina Carano firing. That's hard to say, but it's pretty safe to say that it was, you know. So, like I say, moving ahead, that's what Jon and Dave are trying to fix. They are trying to patch everything together to really bring the fans back together, to reunite the Star Wars fandom and just make it thrive. Kind of like what the MCU is doing right now with Spider-Man No Way Home. They're doing incredible things with that movie, and a trailer for that movie is set to debut sometime next month in July. So that's also going to be a thing that sets the bar for Marvel. Kind of similar to how, you know, The Mandalorian Season 2 really set the bar for Star Wars. So I think that Jon and Dave, they know what they're doing. They're trying to please the fans as much as possible, and I think that they're going to succeed with the Ahsoka series starring Rosario Dawson. Again, the Ahsoka series, given that Anakin's Force Ghost is going to play a big role in that, the Worlds Between Worlds is going to be in it, the Netherworld of the Force will be in it as well, the Realm of Mortis. I mean, what more can you ask for? You know, we've got Thrawn, we've got Ezra. This show is basically going to be very Force heavy, and it's going to have a lot of Jedi lore. It's going to have all that wizardry type of stuff that you love thrown into that TV show. So that's one reason to like the Ahsoka Tano series. And it's not just that. Rosario Dawson, amazing. She's an amazing actress who did a great job on portraying Ahsoka Tano. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.